Welcome back to the Primitive Camping and Bushcraft Podcast. My name is Chris Speir, and I'm going to be your guide to enjoying the great outdoors. So today, we're going to talk about the importance of a fire kit. Last week, we discussed how to make a bow drill from start to finish, and that was a lot longer than our typical video podcast. But today we're going to read through the book again, and if you want to join along, go ahead and swing over to Amazon, pick you up a copy of the Primitive Camping and Bushcraft book. It's also available on all major retail outlets, and right now on Amazon it's like $14.42 a copy. So it's a good deal if you're able to get a copy of it, if you don't have a copy. But anyway, how are things? How are you? How has God blessed you this week? I know it's only Monday morning, but still God could bless you on a Monday morning and have you enjoy the rest of your week. It can really help you along in your week. But we're going to talk about the importance of a fire kit today. So let's get right into it. A fire kit is a collection of items that can be used to start a fire. Duh. Hello. So how many times do you ever get out into the woods and, you only brought one thing with you? You only brought like a cigarette lighter. Now, I've done it before. I've gone out into the woods. I've gone camping, and all I had was one cigarette lighter or one, a big lighter or whatever you want to call it, and that sufficed. But I guess the whole premise of a fire kit is to have a backup in the event of you flipped your kayak and you fell into the water and you lost your stuff, or it got wet, it got ruined, anything to that nature. And so the premise behind this is to be able to have more than one way of starting a fire, having more than one way of being able to dry yourself out, cook your food, boil your water, keep you warm. It's having more than one way to do all these things. Fire kits do not have to be complicated. So they don't have to be complicated. You don't have to include 30 different methods to start a fire. Concentrate on easy methods so you can use in case of emergency or in case your lighter runs out of fluid or you lose it. Start a fire in various ways in the event that you lose your ferro rod. I cannot stress it enough that you should practice different ways because things happen. Life happens. Murphy is coming after you. Murphy's Law is going to happen, and always make sure that you can get out and practice with every item that you pack or every item that you bring, and then we're going to go over a few different things here, and that's really going to clarify some stuff. And this will be the second time through this whole book and podcast series that we talked about a fire kit, but this time we're really going to take a deep dive and we're really going to get into the weeds. And I'm thinking that we're pretty much going to read, not word for word, because I don't want to do it word for word out of the book, but we're really going to take a deep dive into why and what and how. All right. So first up, one of the items that you can bring with you and have multiple of and probably, never have an issue is big lighters. You could buy a pack of 10 lighters, have one in a fishing box, one in a hunting box, one in, your pair of pants, one in a shirt pocket, jacket pocket, one in your backpack, one in a fire kit, one in your whatever. You can have 10 different places that you got a lighter. And let me be honest with you. The Bic lighter is the number one single most cost-effective and reliable way to start a fire in modern history. It really is. It is the easiest, most disposable, most reliable way to start a fire. And other brands are nice, but the Bic lighter is the top of the line. So, but I'm not endorsing any kind of a company, but the product speaks for itself. You get down into 30 degrees, it has trouble lighting, but you got to keep it warm. I put that here in the book where it says that the big lighter won't operate too well below freezing temperatures, so you have to keep it warm. It also won't work when it's wet, but you can simply dry it off and get it throwing flames again in no time. Several survival schools out there go through teaching people how to, your lighter got wet, dry it out, and here's a minute drill. They do these certain things. I think a lot of it's just flash, but it's something to learn. And I'm not going to down it. It is something to learn how to dry out your lighter to get you started. But I don't. Anyway, moving right along. There's an old saying, especially when I was in the military, it was 2 is 1 and 1 is none. When camping or hiking, keep 1 lighter on your person, 1 in your fire kit, and 1 in your backpack. This way, you will have a backup to the backup. Like I just said earlier, you can throw it in your tackle box, you can throw it into your lunch box, you can throw it into whatever. You can put it in all these different places. Before heading out on a trip, I recommend modifying your bait lighter. Now, everybody should know this. Everybody should probably do this. But go ahead and remove the metal child safety ring. When your hands are cold and you lose the dexterity in your hands, and it happens, it don't have to be extremely cold for that to start happening, but it will happen. But if you start losing the dexterity in your hands because your hands got cold, it's going to become difficult to depress that little metal ring in order to strike the wheel. And that is the honest to God's truth. That has happened to me before. And I'm telling you now, take that metal ring off. Take that child safety thing off. Get it off of there. So wrap duct tape around your lighter. This is another tip. Wrap duct tape around your lighter for later use. The tape it serves many uses. You can use it as like a fire extender. You can light it and use it as a match. You could light the duct tape. It burns slowly and long, and it saves the fuel in your lighter if you're that worried about, overusing your lighter. Personally, I don't think I've ever used a lighter until it ran out of fluid. I have cracked a lighter before, but I have not. I have lost a lighter before. Matter of fact, the last camping trip I was on, I lost a lighter. Set it down. I always used a bright orange or bright green or something bright that you could see if you set your lighter down on the ground, because it'll be easy for you to recognize, hey, I set this dude down, I lost it, and now we can know what to look for. And it's easier to find a bright orange, bright green, hot pink lighter. Excuse me. So next up is going to be char cloth. Char cloth is essentially a small scale variation of charcoal. This handy material is usually made from the organic fibers such as cotton and old denim jeans. Side note here, denim jeans seem to work amazing with this method. Now, you can also use other materials such as cotton balls and tampons. There's a big thing about tampons. And I did a video on how to start a fire with a friction fire with a tampon. And that's what catapulted me into the position that I'm into today because of a little hack. And this little hack was pretty cool. A lot of people, it got me all the way up to MTV's ridiculousness. And that was like 20 seconds there of being ate alive by them folks. I mean, they really ate me up. But anyway, you can make it out of denim jeans. Denim jeans is awesome. You can even substitute natural materials like dried moss, leaves, certain fungi, punkwood. Punkwood is the spongy, rotten wood that you find in an old standing dead tree. You can use broken down or processed barks like willow or poplar. Process The process of making char cloth is not very hard. You'll need a little tin can, like an Altoids tin can, and you'll put your material in there, which is usually cotton t-shirt, cotton towel, denim jeans, something to that nature. You'll put it inside the tin can, and then you will set that can in the fire. You don't have to poke a hole in it. You can if you want to. I mean, there's so many technicality police out there that they love policing everything that I do. It's almost like I got a bunch of fact checkers, checking everything the moment I say something or do something. And it's like, you don't have to have, I know that. I put the hole in the can on the video just to say, you can put a hole in the can on the video. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. Hello. It's not that difficult. People, man. But anyway, the process of making char cloth involves the material undergoing pyrolysis, Pyrolysis, pyrolysis. So what happens is it's heated up. It doesn't combust, but it heats up and it gets rid of all the gases in the material and it leaves it as charcoal. Now, that is a thermochemical decomposition of organic matter. All right. For all the people out there that's going to jump into my comments and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, all right. So you can tell I'm not being negative. I know how the comment sections work. A lot of people be like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. The square root of pi. And, I actually have a strawberry cream cheese pie out there. That's more like a king cake, and oh Lord, it's good. Oh, Jesus knew what he was doing when he created strawberry cream cheese. Anyway, moving right along. To make char cloth, you're going to need a fire. You're going to have an Altoids can or any kind of tin can or any kind of metal container. You can use your metal container with a metal lid. You can use a cup with a lid, and that will make char cloth, and you can do it like that as well too. Put it in the fire, let it cook for about 15 minutes. You'll see all the smoke coming out and all the gases. Like if you poked a hole in it, you're going to see the gases come out, and it's going to seem kind of like it's under pressure, and the flames will catch on, and it'll seem like a blowtorch. It's actually kind of cool. So to watch, and watching that is pretty cool. But once it's done, about 15 minutes, once the smoke's gone, then it is ready for use. Let's set it to the side, let it cool down, and then once it cools down, then it is ready for use. Misspoke just then. But once the smoke stops, it is ready to use, or ready to cool off to use, I should say. How do I say that without everybody just like misconstruing what I'm trying to say? A lot of people misconstrue what I'm trying to say. So another item you could carry in your bag is the flint and steel. You've seen these things, the little D-rings or C-rings made out of some kind of carbon steel, and they hit it with a flint, a piece of chert, something to that effect, and it leaves a spark. And then you just collect that spark and try to get that spark onto your char cloth. There we go, char cloth again. Char cloth is instrumental in using with the flint and steel. It's the easiest way to actually get a fire started. Another item, which is pretty cool that you can use, is a pencil sharpener. A pencil sharpener is a pretty cool little gadget. Now, in the book, I did take a picture of a cheap 98-cent pencil sharpener in the book, and you can use that. But I'm here to tell you it's probably going to last that one trip, because it is a cheap thing for school, and it's supposed to be used for regular pencils, but you can put sticks in there. You can put a piece of fat wood in there and you wind that thing around, and it's going to actually start you by making paper thin little shavings. It's going to actually give you more surface area to start your fire. And it's easier to use your bait lighter or your ferro rod or something to that effect to start your fire. But, break or cut a small stick about the size of a pencil, fat wood's perfect. Bring that thing in there, twist it around, take them shavings and set them to the side as a fire tinder. Now, it's not really necessarily a tinder. It's more like a kindling, but you can, it's real fine and real nicely processed where you could actually start a fire with it. If it was fat wood, then you could just throw a spark to it directly and you'll be able to start you a fire. Now, which that's going to bring me to the next item, which is the ferro rod. The ferro rod is amazing. I've done so many videos, and I dedicated a whole episode to this podcast on ferro rods, and ferro rods are just amazing little creatures, and I detail them on page 148. But the ferro rod is one of the most efficient tools available when it comes to starting fires. I mean, next to a big lighter. They come in all shapes and sizes. I usually have one in my pocket. I took it out on my keychain while ago when I got home. But, I got a little nanotech, I think it's nanotech, and it's a small one. And it's great. USO, UST, or whatever it is. They have UTS, or I forget what it is. But they have a good emergency one, and there's orange, and we did a whole episode of ferro rods here recently. So if you want to, click that little link up above here and then go check out the ferro rod section. Most ferro rods allow you to start more than 20,000 fires over the course of its lifespan. And that's a lot of fires. I mean, and not necessarily 20,000 fires, but it allows you to strike it about 20,000 times. So each ferro rod, for 20,000 strikes, potentially can have 20,000 fires. That's a lot of fires. That means that your ferro rod is going to last a long time, and it is extremely, extremely reliable. Now, another item that you want to use, I got two of them here. One's a magnification lens and one's a magnification mirror. And, the lens is like you could double it up. You can use it as something to see for like first aid or to read or something to that effect. But you can see to get splinters out or whatever. But anyway, a magnification mirror will actually allow you to signal, and then it would allow you to look in your eye or along your face or something to that effect, or, look down if you got to check your hemorrhoids or something, whatever it is that you need a mirror for, even starting a fire. But the lens is self-explanatory because it's usually like a magnifying glass or Fresnel lens or something to that effect. And you take these things and you amplify the sun's rays on a bright day, and you amplify the sun's rays, and it will actually give you enough heat to start a fire. Now, what I've found is that it actually works great. A magnification lens and a magnification mirror works hand in hand with char cloth. I mean, they work perfect with char cloth. And, so char cloth is another, it shows itself here as to how versatile it really is, how versatile, how amazing that stuff really is. But a magnification mirror is a magnification lens that, serves multiple purposes. Like I was saying a while ago, you can use it to start a fire on a sunny day, but you can also use it for signaling if you're lost, and you can use it to mirror if you need to get something out of your eye or have an urge to shave while you're in the woods. I'm never going to have the urge to shave while I'm in the woods unless I'm trying to make a fly for fishing. I am not going to shave. I didn't even shave for the podcast, dude. I mean, I can't stand shaving anyway. When I left the military, I swore I was done with shaving, but I still cannot grow more than a goatee. I still can't grow more than a goatee, and because the beard aggravates me. And I got some videos out there. I did a beard for several months, but it really bothers me. It starts itching, and I just cannot do the beard thing. So, but anyway, so, this is one thing that there's other stuff that you could put in here for fire kit. You could put a pack of Blackbeard fire plugs. I use those things religiously. I use them constantly. If I go into the woods, most of the time, I don't even feel like, just farting around with it. I'll just throw a Blackbeard down there. I'll use my ferro rod, and I'll start a fire right then and there. Now, you can use other things. Like I've made fire biscuits, and in this book, I outline how to make fire biscuits. You're using the not alcohol, but the makeup remover pads, the little small flat discs, and you're taking those and you're saturating them in, you can do it in Vaseline, you can do it in lighter fluid. I did it in lighter fluid, and then you melt some wax and you drop them things down in the wax. So the wax is essentially sealing in the lighter fluid or the whatever you're wanting to use to light your fire. Now, these things, all you do is you just break it, put a spark to it, and voila, you're done. You're done. I mean, it's going to start you a very good fire. Let's see. There's other methods there. Fat wood is going to be one of the best things that you can find. It's all natural. It's not going to let you down, and it's waterproof, and it runs it's all natural, and it runs anywhere you have. It happens anywhere you have pine. So any resinous or any pine or stuff like that, it will have fat wood. If you find you a dead branch, all the sap just ran down. You find you a dead tree, usually the heart of the tree is fat wood. And it is amazing stuff. And you can start so many fires with it. And you can have one piece about this long, and you just scrape a bunch shavings. And I do it almost all the videos on starting fire. I use fat wood shavings, and I'll put shavings out on the wet ground and start a fire in the wet. I did it in the snow. Most recently we had 6 inches of snow, and I scraped snow to the side. I scraped the fat wood down onto the ground, and I threw a spark at it, and it lit in the middle of the snow, in the middle of the wet. And it don't take much to start a fire. It doesn't matter if it's hot. It don't matter if it's cold. It don't matter if it's wet, and it don't matter if it's dry. You can still start a fire in all those conditions. You just have to know how to do it. But a fire kit is going to increase your odds or chances of starting your fire no matter what the conditions are. A fire kit is going to actually help you do what you need to do to start a fire. It's going to allow you to carry different things. Now, do you have to carry 15,000 things in a fire kit? No, you do not. Can you just make a fire kit out of an Altoids tin can? Yes, you can. Can you make a fire kit that hangs around your neck? Absolutely. Can you use matches in a fire kit? Yes, you can. It doesn't matter. There's no wrong way or right way, guys. That's what I'm trying. This whole show is about. There is no right way or wrong way to doing the things that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy going out into the woods and you enjoy doing certain things, you don't have to listen to all these survivalist gurus that get paid hundreds of dollars for a stupid survival course when you can just read a book and go out there and do it yourself. Yes, I said it. Now, are you going to do it as effective as them? Probably not, but you're going to learn. And every trip that you go, you learn something. You go out there, you learn some more. You go out there, you learn some more. And pretty soon you gain the same experience that they did by reading books, because they started off by reading books too. So you don't worry about what somebody thinks or somebody says. They get into your comment section and start leaving comments about how you feel about this and how they feel about that. Who cares? Bye-bye, see you, whatever it is, what it is. God loves you. God loves all of us. God forgives all of us for our sins, the whole 9 yards. But you don't have to worry about what people think. You are going out into the woods to enjoy yourself. You are going camping to relax in nature. You're going to make a lot of discoveries along the way. You're going to learn things. If you've never done this before, just get out and do it. I've had people get in touch with me and they're like, look, I'm not used to doing this. How do I do this? You first by loading your car up and driving out there. The first trip, you're going to take way, way too much stuff. You're going to take so much stuff with you that you wish you'd left home. But on that next trip, guess what? You're going to think about what you brought the last time that you didn't use. Then you're going to narrow it down. You're going to go. You're still going to have too much stuff, but you're going to go and it's going to be lighter than it was the first time. Then you come back from that trip. You're like, all right, so what can I double up on? What has more than one purpose? All right. And so you start doubling up with different things. You got a ferro rod. Okay. All right. You got a ferro rod. You got a lighter. Let's take 2 or 3 lighters. Let's leave the ferro rod at the house. It's perfectly fine. You can do that. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's only an end result. If you want an end result, you're going to do whatever it is in between to achieve it. That's it. That's, don't worry about what people think or say. You get out there, you have fun, you enjoy what you want to do, and you don't worry about the rest. The rest will take care of themselves. So, anyway, that's it for the fire kit. There's a million different things. You can make a fire kit a million different ways. You can put matches in there. You can do whatever, and that you can make a fire kit inside your char cloth, tin, and that be your fire kit. You don't have to have a million different things to do that. So anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, if you don't mind, please head on over to the link in the description of the video and this podcast. Pick you up a bag of coffee. I think it's like $6, $8, something like that. And, I get like a couple bucks. I get $1 or something like that off of everything, all the coffee. It's no big deal. Just head on over there, get you a coffee, and then go to Amazon, pick you up a copy of Primitive Camping and Bushcraft, and it's like $14. Then head on over to Facebook and join the Facebook group, Primitive Camping and Bushcraft, where we got like 7,000 like-minded individuals that enjoy really getting out into the woods and doing something with their skills and learning new skills. But with that being said, I'll see you next time. I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I thank you so much for all your time. Thank you for your patience. And I just hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.